Okay, what's going on? So in this video, I'm doing a Q&A, I guess, for the first time ever. And I put this on my story. I sent an email out and a bunch of you sent questions. So yeah, we're just going to jump straight in and answering questions. Hopefully I'll get to give you a bit more understanding of myself, who I am, and the kind of stuff that I do. I picked a bunch of different questions to make this as informative as it possibly can be. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. First question. What's your daily routine as a CEO? The truth is I'm just not a routine person in that way, but I'll tell you what it is and kind of what always has been. I wake up, first thing I do is exercise, and then I get straight into work. I'm not a big believer of, get your most important tasks done out the way and then whatever else. To be honest, I go with the flow based on like what I need to get done. So it may be that I have some quick, easy wins and it's cleaning up my inbox, or it may be that I have to work on a presentation. To be honest, it's all sorts of work. I don't really segment work into types of work or type of day that I'm going to do what work. So I guess the routine is wake up, gym, work, which normally would be from like 10 till like 3. At 3 o'clock, I go pick up my daughter from school, come back, and it's 4 o'clock. And then I work from like 4 till about 6:37. Then I have dinner, I put my kids to sleep, chill with the wife for a bit, and then get back to work. Then from like 10 till like 1 a.m., I'm working. I'm filming this right now at 1 a.m. That's what I do. That's my routine. I don't really look for anything. I don't really need much. It's just like get up and go. And naturally, like even as soon as I wake up, the very first thing I do is check my phone, make sure everything is good. I love it. I'm just not a big person in terms of like who has a lot of like other rules. I'm a very simple person because the more simple it is, the easier it is for me to manage, the easier I guess it is to be successful at it. This is a good question. What red flag should founders look out for when picking an investor? A great question. So quick context, I raised $11 million for my company, and I've been part of so many different like funding rounds and investors. So I think the biggest thing to look for is control. People may not have like 50% plus in your business, but they'll have other ways to control, meaning that it could be that you need certain consents to be able to do stuff. So you can't hire someone without consent. Someone tried something with me once that they wanted to share the bank account, and they wanted to be that I have to ask their permission to be able to spend money on a certain amount. So I was like, no, thank you. And I didn't take the money. So that'll be my biggest red flag is like just control. Like you've got to be very clear and get yourself a good lawyer. And the thing with lawyers as well is that you can start to think that like they just know, but they don't. You need to dictate in simple English what is that you want. You'd be like, I need to have control, I need to have this, I want it to be like, I remember my first investment, I was like, I need the terms to be that no one can remove me. I can't get sacked. I can't not be the CEO of my own business. So then I added those terms in. I only could if I do something illegal, which is fair. If I like steal the money, of course. But there should be no other reason. It can't be like bad performance and they remove me. So stuff like that is what I would say. Next we have, what do you think is the biggest problem you keep coming back to running an agency? Good question. Honestly, the biggest problem always is just people, right? Because naturally it's just hard to be you bring people in, you coach them, teach them, train them, all that stuff. They get amazing, but some people may leave, etc. So I think the hardest part honestly is just the people management. I've been in this for 9 years, so in that I've seen everything. I've had people have babies and come back. I've had people quit and come back. We've had many people actually leave and come back like three times. I've had people change like 4 different types of roles in the same business. I've seen every type of thing. I've been sued by many people. So yeah, I think the hardest part of running a large business, full stop, is just the people side of it. Everything else is easy because it's real people, real emotions, right? And especially when you've been doing something that I've done, I've had people from the very beginning. People have grown up with me, got married, had kids or whatever. So like you literally have been people's part of lives for a long time. That's by far the hardest thing. Next up we have, did you ever think of quitting? If so, why? Good question. So I don't think I've ever thought of quitting, but yes, there's been times where it's been really hard, like real hard, like getting sued by clients, to people, to just like problems in the business, things not going my way, our way as a business, issues with team members. So I think, to be honest, never quitting, because, this like means something to me, right? Like this, I'm not come this far just to quit. So it's not quit, but it's been hard. And I think that's the reality. I had this massive thing of like embracing stuff. So when something is tough, you're just going to embrace it, just like you embrace something really positive. Like when I sell out something, we make $1 million in 10 minutes, I embrace that. Same with like getting screwed over. you just have to embrace it. It comes with it. And I think the more you do stuff, the more you realize that that's the reality of business. So yeah, never quit, but been some tough times. Where are you from? What's your background story? We'd love to know more about that. Cool. Yeah, no, happy to say. So I was born in the UK and I lived in the UK till I was 4 years old. My parents are originally from Pakistan. My dad is a doctor. He wanted to go back to Pakistan after he finished his studies in the UK, and he wanted to build a hospital. So we ended up moving to Pakistan. I lived in Pakistan for about 7 to 8 years, from like 4 to like 10, 11. But because I was British, essentially, because I was born in the UK, we then moved back to the UK, and then I've lived in the UK ever since I was 11. Ended up doing school, college, university, did my accounting degree, quit my job, started this business. And 2 years ago, I moved to Dubai, and now I live in Dubai where I'm sitting and recording this. So yeah, I guess that's my journey. And I love it because I've had this like 2 different cultures, 2 different upbringings. And I think it's really helped my understanding of the world, what's going on, dealing with people, because I've had the exposure to like completely 2 different worlds. Because I guess Pakistan and England, it's a very different type of living, very different type of people, culture, all that stuff. So I think it's really helped me. Also, when we've also moved around a lot when I was growing up. So I changed schools a lot, lived in different houses, like all of me lived with family for a long time. So again, because of that, I think it given me the skills of dealing with lots of different people, lots of different clients, because I've kind of always lived that life like growing up. So yeah, that's my background. Next one, what's the one mindset shift that completely changed the way you think? I think I've spoken about this once before. So it was like, essentially, we raised money, I hired lots of people, and I realized I always thought other people know more. Only until I paid someone $250,000 salary and I sat across them, I was like, holy shit, I know more. And I mean that not in an egotistical way. I had been selling online since I was 11, 12 years old. So what I inherently know, I know. And I just thought the others would know more if they're more experienced. But no, they're not. Your life experience and the things that you know is far greater than another person's. And that was a big shift for me. Because for me, if someone came from Google, I was like, yo, this guy must be like genius. And that was my naivety. And it's like, no, he just went to some amazing university, got a job, and now is sitting on this desk in this big company. He actually hasn't even done anything. Versus me, I'm sitting in my house with 6 people and 2 mouths in my room and I know more, right? Like that was the mind shift. It's like, oh shit, like everybody that I built up in my head to be like this smart ass guy or person is just actually not. It was just something that I made up in my head. That was my biggest thing for me. What would be your first 3 hires as a founder? Good question. So I can only tell you what I did. And obviously it worked for my business, which is I hired once I had got something set up. So I hired someone to manufacture products once I had set it up. I had manufactured some products, we got it working, we were selling them, brought someone in. I coded in the early days myself. Then I hired essentially what was like then a developer to come and start doing that. I did all the client management myself, and then I hired someone to bring them in. I'm a massive believer of the only way you can manage something if you have understanding of it. So for me, the first 3 hires is the 3 areas that you can set up and pass on. Whichever one that comes first naturally is the one you should do. Down to, if you need a copywriter because you've written enough content yourself, then hire someone to do it. Whatever those things are, you find someone to do it because it's your job to figure out the next thing. What you shouldn't do is bring someone in to figure out something new because they won't know and it's your business. So it's you need to do it. What have you learned, I guess, working with some of the biggest clients in the world? I think patience. I think that the good comes with the bad. I think just dealing with personalities. It's such a different way to manage clients at the highest level because you got to understand every room you walk into, every call that you jump on. You've got to really change your approach. And it's a real skill to learn. So even one of the biggest things to learn, full stop, is how to change the way you come across based on who you're speaking to, what room you're in, etc. It's a real skill. It's almost like what politicians do. They know the crowd that they're speaking to, so they come to that level. And that's a massive thing to realize. And it's a skill to manage people in general, team, clients, whoever, that you need to know how to make the other person tick, and you have to change your approach. So I have like 7 versions of me. There's corporate Shan, who does board meetings. There's content Shan right now, who's trying to be advice and be straight up to the point. I have to be nice, empathetic Shan, speaking to my team members, getting them to work harder. I have to be, the understanding Shan when I'm speaking to a client who's upset because, her followers are not growing or her revenue's not grown, etc. So you have to be many different versions of yourself. And that is okay. Where people struggle is they think I'm not being real or I'm being this if I'm like not being the same person, or if I'm not, saying the things that I really want to say. It's like, no, like that is actually the art of like selling and how you communicate. That's a real big thing, is what I would say. What's the biggest difference between people, I guess the creators that you work with that basically succeed and don't succeed? Number one thing is execution. The people that double think something, they've already lost. Honestly, like when we come up with a new idea, a new funnel, new this, new content type, new this, someone's like, yep, we do it. If it works, amazing. If it doesn't, oh well, move on to the next. That's the mentality. The matter of even you watching this, you'll be double thinking something so much that you're just wasting so much energy on it. I wouldn't do that. I would focus on execution. It doesn't matter. It's not personal. It really doesn't matter if it doesn't work out. And these are like small things, right? Because every day, these micro decisions is what leads to success. So you just got to jump on and do the micro decision. Next, I have here actually, what false truths do people believe that stop them running a great business? Very good question. This is from David. I think the biggest thing is that people think that it's meant to like feel like so good, right? That you'll wake up and you're just going to be loving it, etc. It's like the opposite to what a job feels like. I think that that's a massive thing. I think the other thing is that that you will be so sure about the stuff that you do. And it's just not true. The truth is, even someone like myself, we do $2 to $3 million a month. You still feel like shit can go bad. You still feel scared. You still are thinking of the same stuff that I was thinking when I first started, because it never ends, right? We've got to keep clients happy. I've got to get more clients in because I've got bills to pay. I have 140 people's salaries to pay. The truth is, I think that's the biggest thing that I guess people need to, like the false truth that people believe is that it's like amazing on the other side. And what I realized after things for 9 years is that's always going to be like this. And I'm super content with that and I love it. I love the chaos. I love 39 unread emails, right? I love Slack has 17 messages as I'm recording this. I love it. Gives me life. I want to wake up to fucking, so many messages, so much shit's going on. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think that's the thing. People think it's going to be relaxing in terms of like, that they can do whatever they want. The truth is, it's not true. If you're building something meaningful, it's always going to feel like shit, you have no time. You're always going to be like running from one thing to another. But that is what it feels like. So I think that's probably my biggest thing. False truth would be that people just think it's going to be like this. It's going to feel not like, I'm not saying kumbaya, sit on the beach or whatever. It's like people think it's going to feel amazing when it actually never is going to. But this like chaos that you feel mentally every day is the norm. And I say that 9 years in and I love it because I'm used to it. And I love the thrill of ups and downs every day, shit going good, bad, whatever, dealing with some crazy shit. We had someone like rob our London office on cameras. We see guys with balaclavas taking everything. I have someone suing me. It's just normal. All this shit is normal. All this stuff, when it first happens to you, like, oh my days, like, if someone breaks up with you, you can't believe it, right? Then everything is fine. It's just that. That would be my biggest thing. What advice would you have for someone starting out who's really struggling, unsure on what to do? Honestly, my biggest thing would be to consume less content. Consume only relevant content. When you start watching content of people that are essentially trying to like sell you something else, it's no longer content. You're basically in the funnel being nurtured to buy that concept. So someone's trying to tell you this is the best thing for you. So I would really align what you consume. Number two, I would really work on developing your skills. The more you can physically do yourself, the more chance of money you have in your whole life. Honest to God. And that's been like my biggest thing even to this date, right? Like if the more I can do, the more money I'll make. It's not about delegation. It's not about hiring people. All of that is true. Only if the basics are done. Only if the fundamentals are done, which is you and what you can do. So I would do that. What's the plan with Gemflow and would you sell Gemflow? I guess look, transparently, that's the plan. I'm going to build this agency and sell it. I made a whole video on it called my $500 million plan because that's the plan. I want to build this agency and sell it. And that's what I'm doing. So yeah, hopefully I'll be making a video in a few years from now saying exact that. And look, anyway, it was a quick video just to give answer some questions that came through. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next video.